Hello and welcome to the Philippines on this rainy day here in Cebu City in central Visayas area of the Philippines. Unusual day. We're going to talk about real estate prices, but and then I'll talk a little bit about the weather a little later. This is an unusually hard rain, and the hard rain. I had an important meeting to go to, real estate, to go look at a condominium and no taxis available. So I, with my umbrella, started walking here. Ended up soaking wet after I walked, I don't know, 6, 7 blocks, I think. But anyway, got to my meeting on time. But real estate, when I do, I've been doing real estate videos, condo videos, sometimes subdivisions for about 9 years here in the Philippines. 3 trips, 10 years, I've stayed in 6 different condominiums, different parts of Cebu City. And been over to Iloilo City and Bacolod City, been over to Bohol Island a number of times, around over there, done a few real estate videos over there, outside of Tagbilaran City. And a number of things to think about. First of all, price is price is budgets are a personal thing. You need to know what your budget is. The experts say you should spend 25 to 30% on housing, your rent and utilities. So hopefully you've got wherever you go in the world, you've got some cash backup, some savings, some emergency cash. But take your what you think is guaranteed income, monthly income, and multiply 25%, 30%. Your housing cost should stay somewhere in that area. And here in Cebu City, I came in 2015. Place I did a lot of research before I came. I thought I was going to spend around 10,000 pesos, about 200 US dollars. I ended up spending about 300 US dollars. Looked at 6 different places. Finally, didn't really like any of them, but just finally got tired of looking and rented one of the places for 6 months. And then I moved on to another place and moved on to another place after a couple of years. And so I've gotten to know the real estate business, what's available, and you've got your low end. You can still find condos. Not many apartments. There are apartments here, but more on the Filipino areas. Not the condos are the big place. Everybody stays here, and they have. The question is, are they overbuilding? Well, I think they are, but anyway, the place I'm staying in now for the last 3 years, it was running for 35,000 before the pandemic, before the government lockdown, and I got it for 25,000. Just as the country was starting to open up again, they dropped it 10,000 pesos. And I've talked to a number of different people that were one I looked at on this particular day. They were getting 75,000 for a real nice place, but they dropped it to 65,000, 10,000 pesos less. Sorry about that. Cleaning my camera in the rain here. And the best way, whether you're buying, and people say don't buy in Philippines or any place, a foreign country, the rules are different. But the fact of the matter is, thousands of people are going to buy, tens of thousands of people are going to buy and or build here in the Philippines. So let's get past that. If you don't want to buy or build, so be it. No problem. Everybody should do their due diligence. But the best way to kind of figure out the cost is cost per square meter, and square meters are the metric thing you'll hear here all the time. And I did a lot of comparisons. I took average prices for condominiums in Phoenix area, metropolitan area. Of course, there's a wide range. There's low end, high end, and a bunch in between. and I took a number of, I know the values here in Phoenix, or in metropolitan Cebu. So I did some conversions, the price per square meter and the price uh, per square foot, converted it and looked at a bunch of different figures. And generally, everything I looked at, prices here, even the top end places, were generally less than what they cost in Phoenix. Just to give you the high end, like Rockwell, 32 Sanson by Rockwell. And so anyway, I use whether you're renting or not. I'm renting for 25,000 for 42 square meters. That comes out to I figured it out here, about 595 pesos per square meter. Now, if you've got the budget to afford the nicer places here, you've got a few nicer places. You've got Park Point. I've done videos there. You've got Alcoves. Both of those are attached to Ayala Mall here in Cebu City. You've got 32 Sanson. I just put up a video about several condos there. They all average right around 1,000 pesos per square meter. A little more, give or take 5,000. So 64 square meters, 65,000 to 70,000 pesos per month, pretty much. So you can just kind of use that as a ballpark figure. You can find places that are a lot more expensive than that. Maybe they've got really extra special furnishings. Maybe and that usually includes the condo dues. Just be aware of that. Make sure it includes the condo dues, because 100 pesos per square meter, something like that, can add another 4, 5, 6, 7,000, 11,000, depending upon how big the unit is. For those of you very budget-minded, you can still find a 15 studio, 22 square meters, something like that, about 240 square feet, something like that, and it's for around 15,000 pesos, less than $300 a month. And they're not big, they're small. Depends upon the owner, how they furnish it, that type of thing. But you can find those if that's your budget. And you go up a little bit, like Solanea, location. Solanea, across from Ayala Mall. You look online, and almost all the studios, 22 to 24, 25 square meters, are listed at about 25,000 pesos per month. Well, that's right in that 1,000. It's considered a little above average, not mid-level, but they call it premier, but it's because of the nice pools there. Every individual would have a different view whether it's really in that premier category, but that's over 1,000, a little over 1,000 per square meter. But its location, the location is great there. Geez, I need to lose a little weight. Belly sticking out there. I've got to cut part of this video off. There's some people up here on this walk across area. I can't get their faces in there. I'm not going to blur out everybody's faces. So I'm going to cut them out of this video. Right up here a little bit, there's a group of people that kind of turn around. And this is Fuentios Mina traffic circle. Big traffic circle. Traffic a little bit backed up because of the rain. And yeah, better turn this, cut this out. I just got some information from Citadines, a very, very nice high-end hotel, not very far off of Mango Square, Mango Avenue area. And he could get a monthly rate of about 850 US dollars for the month. That includes, of course, your electric, your internet, 2 breakfasts a day, and 850 times about 56 pesos to the US dollar. That's about 47,000 pesos. You can get for 25,000, you can get a condominium about the same size, or a little larger, and but then you're going to pay electric. Condo do should be included in that. Uh, Even like Airbnb, the short term, but long term for about 25,000 short term or through Airbnb, it's always because that generally includes electric, those types of things. So that would be extra. Another factor to consider is the exchange rate to the US dollar or whatever currency you're using from your country. And when I came here 2015, it was 48.5 pesos to the US dollar. Um, then it went up, started going up, went up to 50, got a little over 50, 52. I was real happy with that. And now it's 56. It bounces between 55 and 55 and a half, 56 and a half. The other day it was 57 something. The highest it was a few months ago, 58. And for instance, 25,000 peso, what I'm paying for rent, times 56 pesos, $446 a month. That's what I'm paying for rent. And then I'm paying another, depends upon how hot it is and how much I run the air con, another 100. So I'm paying about 550 basically. And I'm paying about per square meter, 25,000 divided by 42 square meters, I'm paying 595 pesos per square meter versus 1,000 per square meter. But I'm getting, my place isn't nearly as nice. I've got a great view, but isn't nearly as nice as those 1,000 per square meter. So depends on what's in your budget. I will do a cost of living probably. I've done many of those over the years. I've got a playlist called Cost of Living, and I've got a playlist called Condos and Homes. If you want to just go through and start watching all that type of thing. Inflation has taken a toll, but at the same time, the exchange rate is much better. But inflation depends upon what inflation is a personal thing. Depends upon what you're buying. I spend a certain percentage of my food budget on imported stuff that's more expensive than what I would generally pay in the U.S. There's stuff I can get here. I mean, a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables that is less expensive than in the States. So overall, I think I know I'm spending quite a bit less on food than I would in the U.S. I know I'm spending a lot less than I would for similar types of places in the U.S. where I would prefer to live versus what I'm paying here in the Philippines. And in the comments, you always have the people that they're so expensive. Well, they are expensive, but at the same time, the exchange rate is better. 6 million pesos doesn't get you the same thing it did 10 years ago. Prices have gone up, so but the exchange rate helps to cushion that as well. So just depends upon your budget and your desires, what's going to make you happy, and secure. JR with JRC Realty Services has been expanding his business. He can work as a buyer's agent, which is very rare here. He specializes in documentation, something most people kind of stay away from. So he can take a look at, he'll do consulting, take a look at your information, titles, tax declarations, all that type of thing, and try to give you some idea of if everything's up and up, legit, that type of thing. And he also has listings for rentals and sales of properties. I put up some of those videos. And he has the, many of you have used him for his visa consultancy as well. So he can help you with virtually everything. He also can help people with the renewing their passport in the U.S., not any other nations at this point in time, but he process my passport. Took a couple of months, I think. It's the same thing as what the embassy tells you it will take, but they did the paperwork instead of me. Now a little bit about the weather. This is from my balcony. Got a decent sized balcony and 20 plus floors up in Cebu City. Nice view, a lot of glass. My electric bill for May, the hottest month, I was home a lot, ran the aircon, was about 7,200, and this last month has been cooler. I've had the doors open, doors and windows, and it's dropped down to 5,200. So what is that? 72 divided by 56. So it was $128, and it's dropped down to 5,200 divided by 56, about $92. So substantial. And next month, because it's we're already over halfway through July, and most days I've got my windows open, and nice cool breeze, about 82 to 85 degrees, comfortable for me, and it'll drop down to 42, under what, probably under 4,200 pesos, under $80 for the month for all my electric. And we do quite a bit of cooking in here, so that adds to it. But we're in our rainy season. In sometime in June, we get number of different things affecting weather, but you've got the northeast monsoon part of the year, and you've got the southwest monsoon. In June, we start getting winds from the warmer seas to the southwest and brings more moisture. We get more rain. Today was unusually, and we can actually, this isn't nearly as bad as it was like an hour ago. You could barely see a block away. And so you get some flooding on some of the streets. Not as bad as it was years ago, but still you get a lot of garbage, trash blocking up drainage grates, and that type of thing. But anyway, yeah, it's the slow season. Basically, October, November, December, January, February, March are the biggest tourist times. A lot of the OFWs, overseas Filipino workers, come here. A lot of the people from the cold climates come here during those winter months. And we are in our slow season. And Thailand is also. In fact, they're in a extra slow, very slow season. And people are saying, where have all the expats gone, the tourists? They've gone to Vietnam or Cambodia or the Philippines, but even the Philippines is lacking this year for whatever reason. Less Chinese by like 1.5 million, less Koreans. My observation is that I see a lot more Westerners from U.S., Canada, Europe, Britain, New Zealand, Australia, a lot more of them this late in the season. And probably, they watched these videos and said, I'm going to go check out the Philippines. Maybe they've been to Thailand. And Thailand has a couple different issues going. The high exchange rate is not nearly as good as the Philippine peso to U.S. dollar. So it's a little more expensive that way. They've got some other issues they're talking about taxing. If you're there over 6 months, 180 days, I think, there's some confusion about whether they're going to tax certain types of funds that come into the country. That scared a lot of people away. Some people are just staying 6 months or less there. Number of other things going on with the government. Korea, they've got some political unrest. The president there declared martial law, a year or so ago. He was arrested, and is he still on trial, I think? I think he is, but there's some political issues. When the governments locked down everything during the pandemic, millions of people left the Philippines, millions of people left Thailand, and they went back to their home countries. And the first year after things opened up, people were kind of starved for travel, and people went out that first year or so, but not nearly as much as before the lockdowns. still millions less. And then the year after that, I think a lot of those people, because of various things in their own country, they're just, a lot of them just staying home. They've done their travel, they've got other issues at home, and for whatever reason, the inflation all over the world is a big part of that. And like Europe, they've got their energy bills have gone out of sight. I read news from around the world, and a lot of industries are really having a hard time with the huge increase in energy costs over the last couple of years. They've shut off a lot of the gas from Ukraine, and Russia's gotten shut off. So their fuel prices have gone way up. They've shut down their nuclear plants. And so anyway, a number of different factors involved around the world with world travel. So taking those things into consideration, this is the low season, and depending upon the prices of flights and such from wherever you're coming from, the rest of your trip you should be able to find some good deals, hotels, resorts, condominiums, short-term, long-term, here in the Philippines. I know I took my motorbike, went around Cebu Island when everything opened up, and 6 days stayed in, just went and stayed at different resorts. And I think all but one of those resorts, I was the only one in the resort. They didn't want to lower. I went online. They, in person, they wouldn't lower their rate. So I went on Booking.com, got a much lower rate. So anyway, yeah, there should be lots of deals to be had up until October, November type area. Depend upon if tourism actually recovers is reasonably well the next year. If the Philippines would, they used to offer a 6-month tourist visa, and now I think they give that up out of the Manila immigration office still, maybe, but none of the other offices are only a 1 or 2 month visa at a time. Then you can extend it. And the tourism industry is what, I think 8-9% of the GDP here in the Philippines, even more, I think like 14%, something like that, in Thailand. So when they have a low tourist season like they're having, really hurts the economy, hurts the businesses, hurts the people's income. And if the Philippines would do things to make it easier, more appealing, there is competition with other countries. I've had people say when I do these real estate videos, oh, you can get more for your money in Vietnam. And I've been to Vietnam for a couple of weeks, and I enjoyed the trip, but I don't want to live there. I have not been to Thailand, but talking to so many foreigners and expats that have been there, language is a major issue there, and you might like the food choices a little bit better, depends upon which part of Thailand you would live in, but the English language here in the Philippines, the cost of living, you can live at whatever cost of living you want. Basically, it's out there. You just need to hunt a little bit. There are motivated owners who will negotiate with you on prices. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you're planning on traveling in the coming year or so. Is the Philippines still on your list? Thanks for coming along. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.